All right, hello Monday morning. It is freezing out there. I think we were at minus 20 something this morning. She's chilly. We got customer brought this one in today. It's skipping in the chain case, he said. So we're gonna pull the cover off that guy, have a peek, see what it's doing. That'll be a separate video though. This guy, neighbor's snowblower, would not fire, severely flooded. And he took the back off here, and it did have a mouse nest in it. I went over there, tried to help him clear it out, and it just kept reflooding. I said, no, just bring it to the shop. We'll pull the carb off. I'll do a good carb cleaning on it. It was flooding into the oil as well, so severely flooded. I'll pull it apart here, get into the carburetor and see. I'm assuming clogged jets, and needle and seat might be stuck. We'll see what we got. All right, 10 mil. Need a 10 mil wrench too. It's probably missing. There's one over here on the back side. Need the fingers of a gynecologist to get in here. Choke knobs, they just pull off. Is there one more hidden down there or what? Oh, it's all one piece. Okay. I thought that was a two-piece. Do. Primer line, let go. All right. Okay, we need fuel line pliers, and then just a 10 mil and pull this PCV. I'm gonna go gather a couple goodies and then we'll turn you back on. Alrighty, see I got my fuel line pliers in here. Needle nose. Yank this feller off. One down. Careful when pulling him because there's gaskets you don't want to rip. And your fuel line. These throttle rods. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it from that angle, but they just go to full throttle. And this rod should just lift out. this little spring here. Just pushes up and out of there. There we go. Fuel line, pop it off. Pop the fuel line off. They're often very stubborn. You're twisting and hopefully break its seal a little bit. Sometimes you got to warm them up, which, you know, can be colorful. Use a heat gun. Don't do what I do and use a Bic lighter. There we go. Now your carbonator should just slide right off. Watch your gaskets. We'll just leave that gasket sitting right there. All right, now we're gonna go drain the bowl and take this sucker to the carb bench. All right, draining the bowl. It's just this one offset bolt. Once you pull it out, drains all the fuel out of her. Yeah, I got most of it already drained. This guy here takes the bowl off. Well, there we go. Oh yeah. That ain't no good. Yeah, so there was some gunk built up in there, for sure. Pop your float pin out. Floats and needle. Yeah, you can see all the crusties and stuff built up here. That'll all be stuck throughout the jets and everything. Oh, that's cool. They put a fancy little half moon one on here. That's very nice of them. And everybody else uses a damn Phillips. Whatever. Flathead is getting it out. This is your idle adjustment screw, this plastic guy, but it also holds in the low jet. Careful, there is a plastic or rubber O-ring on that guy. Make sure it comes out with it, which it looks like it did. Yeah, it did. All right. High jet. It's just a flathead in there. Remember, these are brass, so fragile. Be very careful. Sometimes you want to use a little wee bit of heat. But this one popped okay. Alright, we are empty. Now you can stick your carb in just like this. Oh yeah, look at that. So there was a mouse nest in this that the guy, my neighbor, cleaned out of it, he said. But as you can see, there's gunk in there. We'll just get the mouse nest off of it. Insulation by the looks of it. Yeah, well, that's pretty well torn down for what you need to do with this anyways. Pop this little O-ring off here, the bowl gasket. Put him aside. Yeah, and then we'll drop it in the deep fryer, let it clean all the passageways and stuff and this kind of crud off. Leave it in there. I usually do 2 cycles of 5 minutes each, and then I'll bring it out, give it a little scrape with your sister's toothbrush, and then throw it back in a couple more minutes, and blow air through all your little passageways, everything. Make sure everything's blown out and clear, and then you can run it again and reassemble. Alright, so let's see all the crud built up. Well, maybe not. Yeah, that's no good. That's gonna get sucked into your jets and into your motor. I'll take that over to the wire wheel, spin all that off, clean it right up, clean the threads out again. This little jet, I'll clean it up, blow brake cleaner through it and stuff like that. Then air. Make sure it's all cleaned through. These jets here, yeah, this guy's plugged solid. Can't even see through them. File all that gummed up ethanol out of them. And just keep working your way up in size until you find the guy that's fits but don't. There, that's the one. These little tools are like $7 on Amazon. I have a ton of them. Greatest thing for cleaning these jets out. You know, they used to say use a guitar string and stuff like that, but like these are purpose built for it, and they're dirt cheap Chinese thing. They work though. This guy all looks good. All right, so next we're gonna run the deep fryer. Fryer's running. Check your oil. Can you see it? Can you see it? It's black. It's gross. Full of fuel and everything is nasty. So we're gonna change that. The drain's right back there. You see that long post? This one here. Stick a drain pan underneath, break that guy free, drain her out, and then it just gets refilled until it's even with this spout. Good to go. I'm gonna go get the drain pan, and I think that's just a 10 mil. All right, so I snapped it free. It is just a 10 mil. Wow, how long are you? Let that guy drain. Now you see how that works? Well, was working till I moved. That oil is gonna find its easiest path. It was in closer, and it's gonna end up dribbling all down the back of the machine and missing my drain pan. Put a screwdriver or whatever, anything over there. It'll help it change its path and keep going into your drain pan so you don't make a big old mess. And I'll show you, you let go, it's gonna end up going to the back of that. I'm missing my pan, so just do this, keep it clean. Alright, hey, get out of the way. Back into the carb bench. See how this guy's looking? Pretty clean. Looks like we don't even gotta take your sister's toothbrush to it. Maybe a little on the bottom there, eh? Looking good. So we're gonna check out and see how that bowl came out after one run through. Yeah. Look at the junk that was in it. That looks like rust. Not good. So we better inspect the fuel tank. Get a bunch of that gunk off. I'm actually going to use my drill for this one. I got a couple of these little cheek poker bits. Stick one of them in the drill, and that works a lot easier to get a lot of that crap out of there. So I'm gonna go find out where I left it and be right back. Alright, this is the guy here. Not bad. I'll go grab some brake cleaner. Gave her a spray with that. It's getting closer. Alrighty, now throw that back into the deep fryer again. Let her run for one more 5-minute cycle because it was pretty darn clean. So other than that bowl, but the carb looks really good. When they look really good, I run it for one more cycle, just make sure of it. And then I'll clean all this stuff by hand and we should be good to go. When I say by hand, I mean with it. See? Way more gooder. Clean. This guy's done draining. Oh, I moved mine. Nope, you're still there. Pop your drain bolt back in. Leave that cap out. Leave this cap, your oil cap for down below here. Leave it out. And then you fill it through this spout. And this kind of acts as a dipstick as well, because it's got to be full to that level. So you just start filling it up here until it starts coming out down there. Then you pop that cap in. Check your dipstick, it should land dead on. Alrighty, so we're doing oil here. Now, I checked this out. Camera ain't gonna focus, but plastic tank. So rust wasn't coming from there. There didn't seem to be any sediment in the bottom of the tank. So then you got to question, where did it come from? Because there was clearly rust in that bowl. Well, I think it may have just been the tip of that screw that was rusting and had the stuff breaking down in the bowl. But it's all cleaned up now. We'll get rid of whatever was on those screws already. Get whatever was on the bowl cleaned up, and there shouldn't be any more in the system. I think it was just the water. When your ethanol gathers water, so I bet you what was in the bowl of the carburetor had water, and it deteriorates. Now I know the owners, and he had said that he put stabilizer in it and only uses high test fuel. What he used for stabilizer wasn't mentioned, but like this kind of stuff, this ethanol fuel is just terrible on everything. Everything needs a carburetor clean. Everything I own needs a carburetor clean, and that is the most common thing I do in this shop is carb cleanings. I haven't heard of 100% foolproof way to get rid of the ethanol in your fuel yet that doesn't require a ton of work. I've heard of mixing it with water and then pulling the fuel off of the water, which the water will, again, it binds to the ethanol, so you can separate your fuel that way. That's a whole lot of work for, what you're running these things through. Maybe it would be a good idea to do at the end of the season before you store it. I think your best method is just to go to the hardware store and buy a can of that True Fuel that is 100% ethanol free. A little bit of 50-to-1 mix in the tank. The oil is going to help, you know, it's going to sit on your piston over the summer. The oil is not going to hurt anything. It's going to help, if anything. It's just extra lubrication in the top end. So I would suggest personally putting them away with that in it rather than trying to find any kind of stabilizer that works on the damn things, because this fuel just ruins everything. Anyhow, we're on reassembly here now. Going to pull that carb out of the deep fryer and put it all back together. Finishing off the oil here, and then we'll see how it runs. Here's another one I forgot to mention, was cleaning and gapping his spark plug. It was severely flooded, and you know, we had took it out and we took the torch to it a couple of times, but check the gap, clean it up. I'm gonna set it on the wood stove for a bit, let it cook all the old fuels out of it, dry out real good. I've already gapped it, and then we're gonna throw her back in. Should be ready to rock. Alrighty, filled the oil up till it's running out over here. You just let that drain down. Once it stops dripping, you know your oil's at the correct level. Slam the plug back in that. Double check it on your dipstick just in case. And then you should be good to go. Alright, I got distracted. I had to go out and, you know, play with a snowmobile and go pick up a couple snowmobiles. So it's many hours later, and now I'm back into this. There we go. I put the main jet down in there. Can you see it? Look, see it right there? See it? It's in there. Low jet. Goes down into that guy. Idle screw. Somewhere around there. That's cool. Nice little D-shaped thing. Why? Just because I don't have one. Manufacturers, they like to be jerks like that. Okay. Float and stuff looks good. Clean your O-ring. Nobody likes a dirty O-ring. So that's a bowl gasket. You want to make sure it's not rolled. Oh man, I'm not holding it in front of the camera here very well, am I? Fired! The bowl looks much better than it did. This one holds the bowl on. This one's your drain. Tighten that down, and then we go slam it back on the snowblower. Alright, I think I got you a half decent view there. Don't move the camera around. This tube on. We're going to do throttle rod. Just pops down in there like so. Grab your needle nose for the spring. Just drop that there if you want. Alright, spring, fuel line. Get on there. Alright. She on. And then it was this guy. These two 10mm nuts. Again, you need the fingers of a gynecologist to do that. Okay, them guys are there. Pull your throttle line lock. And just give her a second to fill the bowl and make sure you got no leaks. If you got leaks, well, you gotta fix it. You screwed up. While I'm doing that, I'll slam this spark plug back in. That's a lovely spot to get your fingies into. Engineers just hate mechanics. plug wire. Okay, then we are primer line. I don't know if you can see the little tab over here, but primer line just goes on to what looks like a fuel fitting, where it's, you know, it's a primer line. Alrighty, now just line up your choke. There. Choke. And then we got a whole whack of 10 mils to go back in here. Ain't lined up now, is he? She goes. This was a pain in the butt to come out. There we go. Alright, there was one more. Right there. All right, that's it. So now I'll fire it up and, you know, check the belts and whatnot, make sure everything else is working proper and she's blowing snow, and then we'll kick it out of here. Alrighty, let's see how she does. All good. Just returned the snowblower back to my neighbor's place. Good timing, because it's really coming down right now. It's supposed to go all night and most of tomorrow too. So they're gonna need it.